Alright, this is Rockin' in the Free World by Neil Young. Before we begin the lesson, we're going to need to get tuned up because he's tuned somewhere between a low E note and an F note. So you're going to have to tune your guitar up just a little bit. Here's the notes you want to tune to. Here's the 6th string. 5th string. 4th string. 3rd string, 2nd string, and 1st string. And your chord should sound something like that with a little bit of fuzzy distortion on them to give it the feel of the song. So there we go. Let's get started with the lesson. Okay, here's the chorus to Rockin' in the Free World. I'm going to show you just a couple more chords, G5 and A, so that you'll be able to play it, and then we'll work through it chord by chord. So the G5 chord is going to look like this. And what I'm doing here is I have my 3rd and pinky on the 2nd string and 1st strings, 3rd fret, 1st finger 2nd fret 5th string, 2nd finger 3rd fret 6th string. And it should sound like that. We're strumming all the strings here. A, we're going to use our 1st finger across the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings along with the open 5th. All on the 2nd fret. And if you got those two down, then you have the chorus down. So let's go ahead now and I'll walk you through the chorus progression. Well, the way it's going to go is like this. He's going to go G, D, C that we learned earlier, and then we're going to walk down these notes. And what I did there is I used my 3rd finger, 3rd fret, 5th string, then 2nd finger, 2nd fret, 5th string, and then my open E minor chord. So we have something like this. Keep on rocking in the free world. Keep on rocking in the free world. And he does that a few times, and then he moves over to the A before he goes back into the intro and verse again. And the A, the strum for that is just down strums. And just like the notes earlier where we kind of pick the individual notes, with the A strum, it's kind of subjective. You can just kind of feel it out. Most of it's downstrokes, but there's also some emphasized beats in there too that you can add in of your own and just feel the rhythm. Or listen closely to the recording if you want to get it exactly like he does it, but he does it a little bit different every time. So there's the chorus. Let's go ahead and play it along with the music. So there it is, the chorus to the song. Let's take the solo now. Okay, the first part of the song Rockin' in the Free World, the intro and verse, has 3 chords to it. We're going to have to know E minor, D, and C. And I'm going to go over those with you right now, and then we're going to play it along with the music. E minor, you're going to use your 1st and 2nd fingers together as if they're one unit on the 2nd fret of the 5th string and 4th string. And we're going to strum all the strings here. D, we're going to use our 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, 2nd finger on 2nd fret of the 1st string, and 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and we're going to strum just 4 strings. So I'm strumming from the 4th string down. And then C, our 1st finger is going to be on the 1st fret of the second string, our second finger on the second fret of the fourth string, and our third finger on the third fret of the fifth string, and we're going to strum from the fifth string down for this one. Just like that. So those are the chords you're going to have to know to construct the song. And I'll give you a little close-up here of the right hand. See how I strum the E minor? I strum all the strings, like so. D, just 4 strings. And C, 5 strings. Now our rhythm to this is fairly straightforward. It's going to be as you see, I'm using all downstrokes there. 8 of these, 2, and then 1. And there's a second guitar that you can approach using power chords. And the way you construct those is you use your first finger on the 5th fret of the 5th string. Actually, they're movable chords. You can use your first finger anywhere. You can move them relative to one another. But then your third and pinky are going to come over here to the 4th string and 3rd string. Say the 7th fret here. So what I'm doing is using it in the 5th position, which is 5th fret, 1st finger, 5th string, 3rd, 7th fret, 4th string, and pinky, 7th fret, 3rd string. And then we can just take that shape and move it around. And then our open E chord here. Which brings me to my next thought. During the song, if you listen really closely, you hear a lot of individually picked strings. And the way you approach that is you just take the chord and you break it up so you play the notes individually, as opposed to strummed. So we have individually. And in this song, it's mostly improvised, meaning they make up the kind of picked notes as they go along. So there is no pattern. I've listened close for a pattern, and there is none. So when you do that, feel free to just kind of feel your way through it and play what you want. Now, you can also do that with the power chords. In fact, during the verse, the notes are a little more sparse, meaning that the sound isn't as thick. So when you play the verse, you can actually lay back on the chord thing a little bit and emphasize the picked notes more. With all that said, I'm going to go ahead now and demonstrate the verse for you by playing along with the music, the intro and verse, and then we'll move along to the chorus. Here we go. There, I mixed it up a little bit. I did both the notes separately and also some chords in the beginning to kind of give you an idea for how that works. Let me take it with power chords through here once so you can see how that works too. So there we have it, both as individually picked notes, power chords played along with the song, and the chords that you need to know demonstrated. Let's move along to the chorus. Okay, here's our solo for Rockin' in the Free World. This one is kind of ragged. It's very much improvised, and so if you're looking for just playing, a series of notes in a certain rhythm, and there you have the solo, then forget it. You're not going to find that here. The notes that we are going to use are a bent 15th fret 2nd string with our 3rd finger, and we're going to bend that one quite a bit. And then we're going to look for the 15th fret on the first string. And we're going to kind of go like that a bunch of times, throw in some vibrato, which means you shake the note. And the first finger on the 12th fret of the first string. One section he just goes like that. And basically we're going to move from and then our last note is going to be a little bit of a bend here, and what I'm doing here is my pinky's on the 15th fret of the second string, and my third finger is on the 14th fret of the third string, bending third string while the second string here is sustained. So that would be the gist of the solo. You really have to listen closely for the rhythm of the different tones to get it right. So what I'm going to do is play it along with the music for you so you can just kind of get a feel for what I'm doing. And then I'm going to give you some tips on improvising using the E minor scale to maybe write your own solo over the song, because it's a great song to practice your soloing over, because it's got a fairly simple progression, and if you use the E minor pentatonic scale, then you can't go wrong. Alright, here's my interpretation of the solo. I'm going to try to get it as close as I can to the recording, and then we'll take it from there. As you see, I locked it in pretty close there for as far as a loose solo can go. Here's just a few tips on soloing over this progression that you might want to know. There's this scale. It's called the E minor pentatonic scale. Probably most of you have seen it or heard it. It looks like this. And that scale is a real good scale for beginners who are just learning to improvise, to play over this progression. So you can use that scale and maybe a series of licks that you might know. Let's say you know a couple bends or some sequences, things like that. You can use it to play over. And what I'm doing here is I'm using the 12th fret, 6th string to 15th 6th string, 3rd finger, 12th 5th string to 14th 5th string, 12th 4th string to 14th 4th string, 12th 3rd string to 14th 3rd string, 12th 2nd string, 15th 2nd string, 12th 1st string, and then 15th 1st string, and then the opposite, descending. So I'm going to play the scale over the music once for you so you can see how it fits in. Here we go. It fits rather nicely over the recording. So you can practice your scale over the recording, and then you can maybe mix it up and throw some licks in here. I'm just going to play some random licks based on the scale along with the recording now, to give you an example of what it could sound like. And I'm going to keep it really simple. I'm not going to get too flashy here. So you can just take a close look at what a beginner can do practicing improvising over this song. So use those techniques to build your own solos, or just play the one Neil Young played with the bent notes. It's up to you. It's a great song to jam on. Let's move along to the next part of the lesson.